Welcome to another installment of 5-Minute Tones. On today's video, I want to show you how to dial in a wide and greasy stereo detune effect without using a pitch block. I'm going to be doing it on the Fractal AM4, but if you're someone who uses the pitch block in the FM3 or the FM9 for the virtual capo or other pitch shifting effects before the amp and cab, and you feel like you're missing out from that stereo detune in post, you will be able to apply these settings to that unit and you get the best of both worlds this way. Before we hear it though, I'm playing a Chillier Bell Aurora in drop C, plugged straight into the AM4. I've got the FAS Stealth Blue amp model and my free cab IR loaded up. Let's have a listen to the raw tone. That amp model is just an absolute chungus. I love the way that sounds. Let's move on to the chorus block and how we're going to emulate this detune style effect in here. I'm going to be using the digital stereo chorus in here. And in fact, if you just leave this at the stock settings and kick it on, it sounds pretty bunter. Let's hear that. That sounds pretty glorious. It is very obviously a chorus effect on there. There's a distinct wobble to it. And the thing that I like about a stereo detune is it gives me the sense of width and space that a chorus does without all the very obvious wobble in there. So what we want to try and emulate is what a stereo detune does, where you very slightly tune up one side and pan it, and then you very slightly detune the other side and pan it out to create these two extra voices in addition to your center panned guitar on there. And if we think about what a chorus does, a chorus is just a modulated delay line. And as the delay time changes, that changes the pitch. So if we think about that pitch change and we want to try to have this static or constant pitch change, we need to think about the type of LFO that we're using to modulate the delay line. And there's a very obvious one to use in here. It is a triangle LFO. So let's do this. We'll go into Expert Edit and we will change the LFO type over here. From sine, we're going to use a triangle LFO. While I'm doing this, I'm also going to turn the rate down to 0.2 Hertz because I want a very slow, non-obvious modulation speed on there. I'm also going to turn the mix down to 20% on there. The last thing that I want to do, because I want one side to be going up in tune while the other is going down, I'm going to set this LFO phase to 180 degrees. This is going to mean that the left and right sides of my chorus are moving in complementary directions. Let's have a listen to it. I'll bypass it first. Very, very nice. We're getting the sense of width and space that a stereo detune would give us without having to use a pitch block. Now, I've gone back and forth with the pitch block in the Axe FX3 and these chorus settings in here, and the closest I've been able to get to my favorite pitch settings, I've got in here in my blocks library as micro shift 4. So I've made a few little tweaks in here. I have turned the delay time up to 25 milliseconds. A big part of the micro pitch shift effect that you hear in a bunch of older rack units is not just the actual pitch detune, it's a very slight delay offset on there, again, to give you that sense of space. So 25 milliseconds on there. I've turned auto depth off, and I've got the depth at 65%. So what I did here, I cranked the mix control all the way up, and I ran my DI guitar through it, and I looked to see how much detune I was getting, and I was getting about 9 cents of detune up and down over here. So it's very close to my favorite settings of plus 9 cents and minus 9 cents in the dual detune. This is so nerdy, but I love it, and I know you do as well. I've also turned the rate down as low as it will go, added a little bit of a high cut in there, and I've set the width to 12%. This is an interesting one because this is going to act like a multiplier of that delay time. So your left and right delay times in there are going to be offset on here. Anyway, what I will do is I'll run my AM4 through an input on my Axe FX3 that's only got the pitch block in it, and I'll just cycle between them. So we'll start off with the pitch block in the Axe, and then I'll just go between that and these AM4 settings. I think they sound close enough for rock and roll. I can definitely live with that, and for gigs where I'm going to play stereo with the AM4, chucking on these settings with the mix between 20 and 30%. You could see that I turned it up to 30% just to match the mix that I had in the Axe FX3 pitch block. Again, this all works on the FM3 and the FM9 as well. So if you felt like you have to trade off between having patches that use the virtual capo to retune your guitar and then not having the big stereo width of a dual detune, use these settings, go and make some glorious guitar noises with them, and I will play you all out with some extra delay on here just so I can play some big greasy licks. I really like the way this sounds. A big shout out to the one and only Matt Picone for helping with these settings. If you like what I'm doing here on the channel, you can support my channel in various ways. You can check out some of the music that I make with my band Ragdoll, check out my Patreon, grab my free cab IR and make some noises with it. I've also got an AM4 blocks library and preset pack, and of course my FM3, FM9 and Axe FX3 blocks libraries. Thanks so much for all the support, and I'll see you next time.